The Creepy Hospital. Anna was a travel nurse in a state hospital. She usually used to do night shifts. One night, her ward was not so busy as usual, so she was told to go on an ECU ward, which means an older patient's ward. That night, at around 3 am, one of her patients called her and asked her what does she want. So Anna answered in a very surprising tone. She asked, "What do you mean?" The patient answered as if she was very afraid. She said, "That nurse who usually comes to my room and stands in the corner and just stares at me." Anna was quite shocked after hearing this. She said, "Whom?" "Stacy, but she is with me in the nurse station right now." The old lady patiently explained that she was not talking about Stacy. She said, "She is another nurse, not Stacy, not Stacy," she said to Anna in a very low voice. The strange thing was that there was no one else on duty that night. It was only Anna and Stacy. So Anna said in an explanatory manner, "I am the only nurse on duty right now, and the only person with me tonight is Stacy, and she is with me in the station right now. If that nurse that you're talking about comes again in your room, please call me, I will come." Anna walked out of the patient's ward and started walking towards the nurse station. Miss Mary was talking strangely. She was saying that a nurse was coming to her room again and again, Anna said to Stacy in an attempt to explain her frustration. Stacy answered, suggesting that Miss Mary must be dreaming as there was no one else on duty. After some time, Miss Mary called Anna again, and this time Anna had to rush to her room. "See, Miss Mary, there is no one there. It's just your delusion," Anna said to her in frustration as she was getting annoyed now. "No, you don't understand. She went into the washroom," Miss Mary said in a very low voice. So Anna went towards the washroom and opened the washroom door. "There's no one in the washroom as well. Tell me, how did she look, that nurse that you're talking about?" Anna said, questioning Miss Mary's sanity now. "I couldn't see her face properly. This is so weird. I went to use the washroom myself, I remember." "Did you take a proper look inside the washroom? Is there really no one there?" Miss Mary asked Anna. "Yes, I checked properly. She was not inside. Don't worry now. I'm in the nurse station. Call me out loudly if there is any difficulty that you face, Miss Mary." Anna walked out after saying this to Miss Mary. After that, Miss Mary went into the washroom and closed the door. Miss Mary observed that there was some voice coming from the bathtub. When she pulled the curtain, there was no one there. The nurse was behind her in the mirror, she was able to see. When she actually turned her face to look back, there was no one there again. When she looked back into the mirror, she was right there in front of her face. The room suddenly turned dark. There were no power cuts, yet there was no light inside that room. And when the lights turned on, Miss Mary was found dead on the floor and there was blood everywhere. After a few hours, Anna went back into Miss Mary's room to check up on her again. She could not find Miss Mary anywhere in her room, so she looked into the washroom and she found Miss Mary's dead body, along with her blood on the floor and the walls of the washroom. Anna was seriously upset and actually got sick after seeing this. She had to take a few days off from work. 3 months went by and Anna went back to her normal routine again, until Anna got the shift for the same floor and the same room. This time, the sweet 70 years old Mr. Howards was her patient. He was a very good man at heart. It was 3 am once again. There was silence everywhere. Once again, the patient from the same room, Mr. Howards, called Anna. Anna walked into his room, but she was a little sleepy at that time. "Are you my nurse?" Mr. Howards asked, and Anna confirmed that she was. "Yes, I am your nurse, Mr. Howards." "Then who is that nurse with long hair who usually comes to my room and just stands in a corner and stares at me? What does she want?" Mr. Howards asked. "What? Honestly, sir, I don't have a clue about it. Only me and Stacy are on this shift right now at night. We are the only available nurses, and you are not the only person who had seen that nurse," Anna told Mr. Howards, but she was afraid from inside. She was frightened to the point that her whole body was shaking. She rushed back to the nurse's room. She took a breath of relief when she went inside. Stacy was on the back and was looking out of the window. Stacy, my heart is beating very fast. Do you remember that incident which happened to Miss Mary in the room number 4? The same room Mr. Howard is staying in. Mr. Howard just saw the same woman in the same room. I don't know if it was Miss Mary's delusion anymore. Anna asked Stacy while trying to control her breath. Don't you know about that incident? Stacy said in a strange voice. Which incident? Anna replied in a rush. Stacy started speaking in a strange voice. In 1990, a nurse used to work here who committed suicide because of her stress in the work. In one of the room's washroom, she committed suicide, and that is room number 4. People found her dead body in the washroom. After that, people usually see her in the hospital, especially room number 4. Oh, just shut up, Stacy. They don't scare me, Anna said. While saying this to Stacy, Anna took a look at the table and she found a letter from Stacy which she had written herself, in which she had mentioned that she had been called down into the ICU and she will be back very soon. Just as Anna read these words, the lights went out after blinking for a minute or two. That night, Anna was found dead by the hospital staff in the washroom of room number 4. It looked like the body was dragged from the nurse's room till the washroom of room number 4. There was blood everywhere on the floor as well as on the white tiles of the walls. Nobody knows how Anna died. The police was not able to gather enough evidence to prove a murder as well. Her death still remains a mystery. So everyone, if you enjoy horror stories and you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Also, press the bell icon right next to the subscribe button so that you get notified every time a new story is uploaded. Please tell me in the comment section down below if anything strange happened to you as well. I read all the comments.